come back and send it to you. So
Okay.
can you hear me?
Great.
Okay.
Sure. No
Okay.
problem. I can hear.
Okay. Fine. Anyway, the numbers I gave you are really conservative. We had like 400 people that came through right at real close 375 or 380 or whatever it was. That the last time I looked a few days ago. And those were freebies, and we haven't bumped it. We bumped it like I think 4 times, and literally we went from July 24th till about a week ago, 10 days ago, and never bumped it. And then we got good results even after that time. So we weren't doing it consistently because we were waiting on our money. This is a proven thing that you already know. We know makes money. We don't have to go to an outside source trying to get our money. That's why we stopped, to be honest with you. And we finally got our money. We promoted it again, but it took so long for us to get our money out of my PC. We didn't keep that game plan going. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the numbers still came out over 20%, and they had to pay for it. There was no dollar trials and all that stuff. This offer here, what I can do is once we get just a little bit, we don't even have to be on the Warrior Forum yet. I could literally take the sales page with our main concept and pop it in the room, get feedback on what sells, what we need to do, and you probably know what needs to be done, but get some good feedback, and it does a couple other things. What it'll do is it'll drive curiosity to that site, and we just start without being pitchy. We every day or two, for say a solid week, or say 3 or 4 days. I mean, I don't want to spend a bunch of time, but say 3 or 4 days while we're putting this together this week. Say, guys, look, man, this is really hot. This is what we're trying to do. What could we do to make this a little better? Whatever. Drive the curiosity in the rooms, and then launch. Just a few days from now, literally. I mean, because it's a free webinar on the front end. That's the only part that to me personally I think really is really important, that we have a good time and is live. All the recording, all the other stuff can be recorded if that helps you. Because I've got other webinars I'm doing too, man. I've got I got a job, I got this, I got all the hustles that I've got, and I'm doing live webinars with a slew of people. So it makes sense to me also to really literally record like 2 sessions at a time, maybe,
Right.
maybe 3 if we can really push it, like pick a Saturday or even a Sunday if I have to, where nobody's bothering either one of us, and bang out 3 sessions for, if it's 45 minutes or no more, I could sit down with you if you really get crazy, and if we know exactly what we're going to say, and go with 4 sessions in one day, and it's the entire month if it gets to that point, or we're making some, and that would be fine too. I'm not. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, any of that stuff. So, and I'm just steadily talking here because this is stuff I want to get it out of my head and it's recorded. And but we got about 40 people that signed up out of them 375 or whatever for that freebie thing, and we went and they had to, pay the $7 to $10 a month or whatever plan. Some of them paid 2 years. Some of them paid 140 something dollars or 180 something dollars for 2 years. So there were different price points in that, and like I said, we got over 20% conversions on that webinar. This offer here with the Mafia Mastermind, I'm pretty sure, and I make no guarantees. I've got about 50 members in the mastermind now, 49 or 50. I don't. Last time I checked, about 45 of them are paying members. I got 4 or 5 that are not, but they're helping me with other stuff. But out of those 50 members, I'm positive that I can swing us at least 10 of those, because once they see what you're bringing to the table, and tell them, hey, you get everything you're already paying for. You know how powerful that is already, and look what he's bringing to the table. I'm positive I can get 10, and that doesn't count my own list, of course. So, with as hot as this is going to be, with a little bit of email love, as far as follow-up love to my own list, plus
Right.
to the groups, I could actually probably get us 15 or 20. That's not big numbers. I know it's not, but those will be loyal, really loyal customers that'll stick around. I think that's the more important than anything. Because they know the power of it. They know the power of
Right.
what they've already got. So that's really, to me, a good starting point. And I gave you some numbers that are really, really low. I mean, I said 100. After the fees and all that crap, we're down to about 12, 13 bucks a month a piece. After the fees. That's not no big money, but that doesn't take into account any of the follow-up stuff that you're a master at, that is already engineered. I mean, what you tell me, what your thought on that is, Joe?
I just feel that it's just doing it and getting it done, get it out there, because I know that people are going to come. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And and you really put it out there. I mean, it's the people are just going to join up, and you're going to be surprised probably how many people really need to know how to make money right now, opposed to beating around the bush and try to push something.
Mm-hmm.
With this, they can actually go out there and do it on their own to make money. They don't have to wait for anybody. They don't have to put banners up, among other things. And even if they did, they're all pre-designed for them. They don't have to do anything, so it makes it so much easier for them to do it. They can send it in an email. That's the nice thing about CPA marketing as well. And they can do it offline as well. So there's a variety of different ways they can push this out there,
Mm-hmm.
and a variety of different ways and how they can make money. And they don't have to make money, and that should be emphasized just by one CPA network. But my thing is getting money from multiple CPA networks, and it's like you create your own residual income. It just comes in even when you're sleeping.
Right. So is this what they're learning, and what I'll be learning with them, obviously, too? Is this something that you can buy solo ads and do the CPA or anything like that? I mean, I know it's kind of tricky on building a list with CPA. So
different networks frown on different things. It's like they were talking about initially that you can't promote offline, but what you're doing is you're not promoting it technically offline. What you're doing is you're placing a URL on something, a box, a card, or whatever, and you're giving it to somebody, and people are going to right to your website,
mm-hmm.
or right to the offer
mm-hmm.
itself.
Okay,
and that's how you're promoting it. It's not like you're getting in a public forum and announcing, rather than electing this guy over here, get my CPA offer. It's, you're just actually breaking it down to the extent that you're driving them to the offer itself. There's the biggest thing that's frowned on by CPA networks is incentivization. You can't incentivize the majority of the offers. Okay. And I can see why people would have the inkling to do it, because of the fact that, if I'm making $32 for somebody submitting a credit card or something to do type of marketing that's for his credit reports, and you turn around and pay a couple hundred people $5 a pop, but yet you're getting all the other money. I can see why they don't want to incentivize, and you don't really want to take the time to do it anyways. But that's pretty much what they front on. But some offers are incentivizable, but they're really small amounts that you get. Okay, and it's not worth incentivizing it, and sometimes it's not worth dealing with the offer. It's easier for me to go out there and send online as a free, iPad offer for iPad 3 or iPad 2, and having a ton of people sign up for it. And although of course at the end it's looking at as far as you have to complete this many offers or that many offers before you get it. People have actually gotten it by completing those offers, but a majority of people don't. But it doesn't make any difference, because by the time they submit their name and email, you got paid already.
Right.
Okay. Regardless if they submitted an offer or did 15 offers or whatever, it's not like I'm going out there and saying, hey, get this over here, and you have to pay $24.95, and then I get paid $10 for it. It's nothing like that. It's people are actually just submitting a name and email, and sometimes just a profile, like with different dating sites and everything else, and getting paid instantly for it, without waiting at all. There was a time I remember when my youngest was a baby, and I was changing her diaper. From the time that I was at my computer looking at my control panel, from the time I went over and changed her diaper and got back up, I made $268 and something, 60-something cents it was. So I was going to say, I was going to put out something in regards on a box or whatever, telling people, how would you like to make $268 and something cents for changing your baby's diaper?
See, that's as odd as it may sound, that's actually a pretty good that's pretty good copy right there, or something around that.
Exactly. And you want to be real clear when you do things like this. You want to be right to the point, and you want to make it as short as possible, but as compelling as possible. Because if you do it that way, you're going to get people to that offer. And when they get to that offer, a lot of people have to go to that next step without paying a dime. They go to that next step for you to make that, make the money. I don't care whether the money's $1.30 or whether the money is $37 or $50 or whatever. The thing is you get into that offer, and when you go to that next page there, you've made your money already, regardless if they proceed further or regardless if they want to spend a dime or nothing at all. So that's what it's all about, and that's how they're going to make it. But if you emphasize this to people, that they're going to make money like this, then there is no doubt about it. They're going to want to get on this, because that's what it's all about. It's about them making money the easiest possible way. You have to put the work into it and everything else, but it's not a lot when you really think about it. You know, it's something that you've been doing already. I mean, look how many people are sitting at the computer banging away on keys all day long, all night long, for years after years, and not making anything. You know, I mean, now they can put some time into it, real time, significant time into doing what they're doing, and build a real, you know, live at-home business. And sometimes, you know, well, a lot of times, every day, you get paid for just sitting at home and playing with your kids, or
well, that's another thing too. While we're doing these, you know, while we're doing the weekly training, these webinars, seminars, we can call them seminars, however you want to call it. I definitely want to take that offline technique when we get to that phase, whatever lesson that is, and actually do live case studies, because I'm not a newbie at any of this stuff, but I've never done anything with CPA marketing. In fact, I've got a CPA network I joined. I paid $100 to join, to get the account open with them, and you know, I had $100 worth of credits with them.
Right.
And I've never even used it. It's 2 years ago.
And Rick, I'll tell you what, you should not have to pay a penny to join a CPA network. Not a cent. All CPA networks are basically, that I've ever joined, are free. All the ones you get from Alpha Vault are free. You don't pay anything.
Well, I've still got that credit somewhere, and whether it's a scam or not, it's sitting there. But the point is, and you're right, the point is, I could be a really live case study and say, guys, look at, you know, I'm hosting this with Joe. This is real. This is exactly what I'm doing from his teachings just in the first 2 or 3 lessons or whatever. And this is what I've done. And here's the results. And boom, you know, we can share so much of the teaser information with a free Skype room. And, you know, I'm all for putting the offer together, putting the webinar, letting it be free. And right on the front page, guys, look, here it is, man. Here's a free Skype room. You'll see all this information. Load them all in there. But tease them in that Skype room. Hey guys, if you want your questions really answered, and you know, and the help you need, you can learn all this if you stick around long enough for free. It may take you a few months. You'll actually get it. Or why not just pay $27 a month now and start having the ability to make, you know, that extra $500 a week, or you know, whatever goals, you know, whatever your goals are.
Exactly.
You know, I don't want to sit in there and say they'll make thousands of dollars a day, because everybody's sick of hearing that.
And that's the reason why I don't show figures and everything else, because it misleads people, and people get involved in it. Next thing you know, they're trying to spend their own money to do things and everything else when they really don't have to, and it just misleads people to a really.
So because I got to go here pretty quickly. Let's look at some good subject lines for you know, as far as coming through the top, our headlines. Discover CPA networks, discover how to make money with CPA, discover something.
CPA get paid today, you know. I mean,
yeah.
Like that,
Can you look at what I just sent you? Can you give me some feedback before I leave? I just sent you.
Let me check it out real quick. I just seen the link. I popped it up. Okay. That's Jeremy. $100. $100 a day today. Free live webinar. Okay. Attending. Okay, got you here, Jeremy. Video. Webinar date. Let me see. No.
2 stay-at-home dads.
Yeah.
We both have small children.
And let's see here.
Look at the subject line when you go to the Warrior Forum. What they actually see, that's really important. That first at the you know, the URL actually. Look at that subject line on top. Get paid $100 a day, or
$100 a day today. Yeah.
Yeah.
$100 a day today.
Well, not just that, but the you know, in that you know, at the very top, today free webinar shows you how to get paid $100 a day. And these are not huge numbers. Those aren't huge numbers. That's not something over the top. These are real numbers. These are numbers that at times I've done better. Now, do I do it every single day? No, I can't say that. But I've done much better than that some days.
Yeah, no, that's good too. It's clean. It's right, you know, straightforward. You know, YouTube, offline love, exclusive webinar bonus. Let me see, currently $17.
Then we got
here.
Right.
It does, let me see what it says as far as how much it is. I was looking at. All right, here it is. It means it's $7. I paid more than that. Let me see McDonald's. I said. So you're asking for $7, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and here it is right here, right under the button. Okay, because some people, what I like to do is when I promote something or something like that, and I'm selling something, right by the buy button, I'll put a big red like globe there and put the price in the inside. That way, people aren't looking around for what it costs or anything like that. You know, pretty much because some people just slide right past that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're promoting something, they're used to seeing what you have. They just want to see the prices so they can buy or not buy.
Right.
And that's pretty much what it is. But here it is $7. So, yeah, I know that's reasonable. I mean, for what you're. But it's people, if they see the value in what you're doing. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, we worked pretty hard to put that copy together, and and neither one of us are the very smartest, but we're not dumbasses at copy either. I mean, I think what we did worked, and then he did a really good graphic design. That really helped. He's good at graphics.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you know what? I mean, if need be, I can invest a few dollars, or we can invest a few bucks with Jeremy to make us some really cool graphics if you'd like, if you need to.
I do graphics. That's not a problem. I like. Well, you see the website that I did.
Yeah, that looks slick, man. That's cool, man. I like that. But I'm just using that as an example. That's my best success story. Me and Mark had a pretty good success. We just got started. Me and Andy did pretty well when we first started. We just died off. It didn't. Blogging is boring to a lot of people, and I told him that from Jump Street. I said, dude, we got to do something besides just blogging. We got to do. You got to do something like WordPress. Everybody's hot about WordPress or needs to know more about that, but blogging is just yawn, I mean, even though you need it, it's
everybody
good.
Hears about it. They don't understand that blogging is no more than a WordPress website that you put up there and you monetize it and try to drive traffic to it.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, there's ways they can do it offline and drive tons of traffic to their website. If they just put the time into it. I mean, that's all.
Well, that's just it. People don't want to do that, but Facebook is hot. People like Facebook, and mobile marketing is hot. CPA, people know these things. These are good, quote, buzzwords that draw people's attention because they know if they learn CPA, if they just get their head out of their butt and they actually do something, they know that they can make, hundreds of dollars a week. Sometimes can make hundreds of dollars per day in a very, very short period of time. They're not waiting for their money as quickly as a lot of these other deals. So. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you before I left. And
these are the people pretty much if they, it says buy now free, and then you got to get instant access button right now.
Yeah.
And then you see the buy now free thing. That's apparently that goes to another page for sign up and everything else.
Yeah, just click that page.
Yeah, I did on both of them.
Okay.
On both the links.
Yeah, and it's got an old webinar link on it, right? Is the webinar link still on? I don't even know.
It's $100 a day today. Then it has you sign up. For name, email, register me now.
Yeah,
and that's what's on there right now.
And it's like a simple video where I did on GoToMeeting, where I just basically, and Jeremy was just nervous as a, how do I say it?
I know.
He just nervous, man. But anyway, it still come out pretty good,
Oh, great. That's good. I mean, I'll probably go ahead and listen to the thing, just see what it's like. And so your main purpose for it is right now is getting signups, right?
Right, just get people to the webinar. There's nothing in there they have to buy anything. I mean, we can make sure we put an offer of some kind. You can put an offer in there. I can put whoever. Like if they're coming to the webinar, I can put an offer where we make sure we got the email we can drop on them. You can put something, however you want to do it. Doesn't matter to me. My main thing is getting them to that webinar and getting them to see the value. And I can start. Like I say, I can start getting buzz. What I need to do anyway, and I should have done this already, I need to start making videos that promote the Mafia Mastermind more anyway, where like behind the scenes, look at this, look at all these benefits you get from the Mafia Mastermind, blah, blah, blah. And have 2 or 3 little videos, that could be drip fed all the freebies and say, hey, this is some other things that come with this for free. You're going to make all this money with this. You can do this, 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 and this. By the way, this is some other things you can be doing. And this comes with it, powerful, all the connections. And I need to do that anyway. So it's a win. It's a win-win for both of us. And truly, I'll just be honest with you, Joe. I don't have to make $10,000 a month to change my life right now. I need about, realistically, after taxes, about $3,500 to pay insurance because I'm fixing to run out of insurance. My union bennies are going to end in September, and for insurance, that's my biggest. If I don't. I put it all in God's hands. The bottom line is that's what I do, but I do. The bad guy gets on me sometimes, and I worry a little bit about insurance for my family. I don't care about myself. It is what it is. So I need about that kind of money to to make ends meet, and I'm about halfway there with my online stuff. So I'm not quite there. And so in my mind, huh?
Let's make it happen.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer that with your help and together, that we can make that happen pretty dang quick.
Sure.
I said 60 days to 100. That's just way so conservative, not even funny. We bumped that, what I just showed you, I think 3 or 4 times. So that's a total of 5 times it was on first page. And we got like 40 people to sign up. And we didn't even bump it for like 2 weeks because we weren't getting paid. So the numbers were 375, 380 that came through the funnel, right, after that. We had about, I'd have to look, we had probably 200 that actually came to a webinar, okay? And we got, like I said, we got 36 or 37 in the room, but there were several we never could get a Skype ID to add them in the room, so I know we sold over 40.
Okay.
So those were actual members, and I think we can do the same thing with this. So let's say on the first day you got 50, excuse my life, I believe on the first day, with good copy, with a good call to action, we can get 100 freebies come through the deal. 75 to 100, I don't see any reason why we can't. And I believe that we can maintain those numbers, about 50 at least, a day for at least a week. And I don't make any promises after that, but those are the numbers I've seen so far. Those numbers were consistent with that, which were actually much higher than that for the first few days. They were consistent with my Skype Mafia Mastermind. I sold over 500 copies of that. I didn't make much money at it, I mean, like 485 or 500. Then I gave away another 250 or 300 copies, okay? So I didn't count that. And we bumped that over 10 times, so to be honest. But still, that was a product that was about Skype, and a lot of people don't even understand. It had nothing to do with making money to speak of. It was just like, here's a cool thing about getting traffic. This is about making money. People know it's hot. So, I mean, those are really, really conservative numbers. So if you can get 20% of those people to sign up, heck, let's drop the numbers in half because it's $27, right? We're not doing a $1 trial. If it's 10%, if we got 50 people coming through, 25 signing up, that's not great numbers. But if that's we got them. The only thing that I would really insist on is in my mindset is have the offer within 2 days or 3 days, have our first live webinar, and then really every 3 days or so, we'd have to have some kind of a live webinar. That's the only thing but the other stuff can be recorded, and we can say the same thing in each webinar. I mean, we don't have to change up anything. Exactly. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't want to give them too much. We can get the more we do it, the better we're going to get anyway. Of course, we're going to do a trial run before we do it. And I know you're natural at it because you know this stuff. I mean, I'm going to be just asking questions, and I'm going to, hopefully I'll know enough about what you're talking about before we do it. So when you're talking, I can start engaging them and saying, look what Joe's fixing to talk about now. How do you like this? Look, here's the next thing. Drop those hints on them and keep them interacting while they're watching you. That's a key thing that I don't see people doing on webinars. There's not many of them actually engaging that audience while the expert's speaking. They just sit there.
Oh, you have to do that. You have to.
Well, if you're on my webinars, you'll see that. I don't do any webinars without that interaction going as much as humanly possible. I'm never going to let that chat die. You're not going to be more than 1-2 minutes ever without something going on in that chat. And while he's talking, I mean, I don't want to overdo it, but if there's a dead silence, I'm going to start asking questions, man, or saying things to get them to interact.
You get a lot of webinars where people are just dead.
Yes,
don't
I
ask
do.
Any questions? Don't do anything.
Yes, and I'll be honest with you, I make up questions sometimes.
Yeah, well, I'll tell them, hey, are you people? What are you here for? If you're here to make money, start asking some questions. If you're not, then this is not the room to be in.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You have to do that.
Yeah.
Because,
I keep the interaction going, but I've learned that some people just will. It's not because they're not interested; they're scared, they're shy, they're not the personality to start asking those questions. I like from time to time, if it's a smaller webinar, I'll actually open up the mics.
Yeah. Well, for those people who are shy, then type any question you have, and then they'll be responded to. But they have to interact in some way. I don't care whether it's typing a message, and then you see the message and responding to it, or actually getting on there and saying something. It doesn't make a difference because you do have shy people, but at the same time, you can't make money in this business if you're shy.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
dude, I'm all about it, man. I don't want to be at the point of being rude, or some people sometimes mistake me for being just too blunt or maybe even a prick sometimes. But the reality of it is most people get it because they know that there is no excuses for their shortcomings as far as not taking action.
Exactly.
Everybody's got shortcomings in one way or the other, but taking action should never be one of your shortcomings.
One example is Lorena put 3 videos on links on your Skype room. Okay, the other one, the only person I would say over here who responded to the actual one, let me see here, because I was on, where was it at? Okay, it's at the Video Marketing Mafia. Mm-hmm. And the only other one that responded at the time, I guess, was Andy. He was the first one. When I came to the room, I saw Andy did, and he liked it. So I went there, and all 3 of her videos, I responded to it, and actually made a comment and everything else. And there you go. I mean, it was simple as that. And then I went ahead and reposted her 3 videos on there that she wanted people to see, just as a quote. And